Hi everyone, Liane here. I hope you're doing well. This is the first week of December, and for those of you that are Hobonichi Weeks lovers, stationery enthusiasts, you know that this is the week that we all move into our upcoming Hobonichi Weeks for 2026. Reason being, the Hobonichi Weeks, they always start in December 1st of the current year so that you can migrate into your planner and be ready for the new year. So in this video, I will be kind of giving you an overview and a flip through of my brand new Hobonichi Weeks. And we'll do, like measurements and go through each page. Also, I'm going to talk about how I have been using my current 2025 planner, but also I do have another video where I really go at length as to how I used it as a meal planner, and I'll put that video up in the cards above, but also in the description box below. And then the thing is not much has changed as I'm going to be migrating into my 2026 planner, but there are a few tweaks that I've made, so we'll talk about that as well. I also have some of my favorite implements, utensils, or pens and stationery that I like to use in here. And we will also kind of set up my first page. And honestly, I don't do much as far as setup goes, but I'll show you how I do it. So why don't we go ahead and begin with just measuring out how big and how wide this Hobonichi Weeks is. If I were to get the width here, it's about 3 3/4 of an inch wide by 7 3/8 of an inch tall. Just thinking about the depth of it, it's about 3/8 of an inch deep. This did not come with the weeks. I did make an addition here, and I created a pen loop using gaffer's tape. And I also then put a wide washi tape just to obscure the pen loop that I had stuck on here. I just wanted to add a little bit of neatness to it. I also added this pocket, which comes with all Hobonichi Weeks, but I positioned mine here. But if you go to the first page, or if you open it, first of all, let me just introduce you to the cover here. This is a Moomin collaboration. And the reason why I picked this is this is my first Moomin anything. But the reason why I got this is because I am very attached to my current Hobonichi Weeks. It's got this beautiful pastel colorway or color combination, and I've used it so much. And I've really grown attached to it that I wanted continuity. And so for 2026, I wanted to pick another pastel planner. So this is Moomin. This one was, I think it's Unsodo, Unsodo. And these prints are actually, they look modern, but they're actually prints from the late 1800s in Japan. So look how current. What's old is new, but look how current this is. I love it. I love how it has this nice muted pastel combination, but then look at this vermilion, orange, red thread that just, graces the spread here. So because of my love for this pattern, I wanted another pastel pattern here. I don't even know what this says here. I don't know. If you happen to know, please let me know. But I think it's so cute. It's just this beautiful baby blue, powder blue with, navy blue and white illustration. And then the spine, which I adore, it's just this really creamy, peachy color. And I just think it's really adorable. So let's get to our flip through. Has this nice cardstock as the cover page, and then the title page here it uses the Tomoe River paper, Senzen paper. And when you come to the next page here, you have the current or the upcoming or the current year for 2026 on the left-hand side. And you've got a little section here for important dates for 2026. On the right hand side, you can see that you've got the previous year, 2025, in the top half, and in the bottom half, you've got 2027. Also, this is a Monday start. You flip to the next page. You have your spread, or like your future log, but you have your spread for the year, January through December columns, and then you've got a little margin up here to write whatever notes that you need or want. And then also you've got the days from 1 to 31 or 30. They go in vertical, a vertical layout here. And then we begin with the monthly section, and it begins on December of the previous year. And in this case, it's December 2025. And what I love about it, first of all, is I love that the pages they're not white. It's more of like a cream, like an off-white cream color. And I just have this white legal like steno pad paper just as like a color comparison. You can see that this is more of like a creamy color, whereas this is white. And it reminds me of just like the color of Midori MD notebooks, which I have grown to love. So it is more of like an off-white, like a creamy color. You can see the faintest grids. And if I were to just even look at how big the grids are, it's 1, 2, 3. Gosh, I can't tell. I think it's, oh, I need to look at this closer. Is it like 3.5 millimeters? 3.5 millimeter squares, 3.5 millimeter grids. And so, yeah, they have the months, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, all the way up until March of the following year. So for 2027, you've got January, February, and March. Then you turn the page and immediately you go to the weeks, or like the weekly layouts. And this is like a horizontal version. And if you can take a look here, on the left-hand side, there is no grid. I mean, you see the square grid here on the right-hand side, but on the left-hand side, there isn't a grid. But what I really love is they have, what can I say? They have these faint dots here as guides if you want to use them. And for me, I have used them. And on the right-hand side, you see there's just a faint solid line here to help you, to offer as a guide in case you want to customize the layout a little bit more. So it starts December 1, and it starts at the Monday start, ends with Sunday. And you have this every week, and you can also tell down here, it looks like there are quotes from notable folks, and it looks like so far they're mostly Japanese folks, and I wonder if there might be non-Japanese quotes from non-Japanese folks, but it seems like they are all Japanese artists, TV personalities, comedians that have the quotes down here in the bottom left. So let's see. Oh, and then also you have your 2 little bookmarks here, ribbon bookmarks. And the weeks go all the way up until December. Wow, the last full week of December. And it also includes, of course, the first few days of January because it fits in this week. But it does offer, let's see. Yeah, you do have a little bit of overlap. So it has of course, the last month of the year, 2026. But then what's really nice is then you have for the following year. So for 2027, for example, you're going to have a little bit, you'll have a 1-month overlap to offer a seamless transition from your current planner into your next year's planner. So then you have the week section, you turn the page. Then on the left-hand side, there is a section for useful abbreviations. Oh, I've never paid attention to this. And on the right-hand side, this is going to be your section full of like just blank gridded, or is it dot grid? But yeah, blank pages here, and they are numbered, which is actually quite nice. So they offer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 lines to be able to note, you know, almost have like a table of contents for your blank notebook section here, which is quite nice. I didn't count it ever before, but it's nice that you have 12. So I can imagine for those of you that would like to, you might want to section this out into like a monthly, yeah, you might want to divide the pages into 12 months. It has just very like, what's that word? Very conveniently, there are 12 lines. So I can imagine you could create some sort of log for the 12 months of the year. And if I were to look at how many pages there are 75 pages. I think that's really generous for a planner. For myself included, I mean, just thinking about for me, I've only used about 50 pages. So I think 75 pages is enough, at least for me, in the way that I use my planner. And then as I go past page 75, on the right-hand side, it says using things around you to measure size. And then you have a section for favorites. You have icons here. It's like movie, book, music, eating out, restaurants, shopping, and you have a pair of hands clapping. So that could be leisure or entertainment. And then it has a list for my 100. And honestly, I've tried using these in previous years and I just really haven't found a useful or practical way for me. I would like to, but I just haven't. So perhaps I should look around and see how other folks are using their 100 spread. And this is interesting. This looks new because I don't think we have this in 2025. We don't. The 2025 is different in that you have the measurements here. You turn the page, you have the 100. And I tried family favorites as far as meals go. It didn't work. But I do personally like how I alternated the lines and highlighted them. I think visually it looks nice. And so then if you actually were to flip the page, there are changes from the 2025 to the 2026. 2025, this is cute. There are lots of like doodle inspiration. I haven't actually looked at it back here, but I really should be referring to this because I do like to doodle. And then you have, I'm not quite sure what it says here, but it might be like something with meals, meal ideas, or it could be regional cuisine. I'm not quite sure. Regional cuisine in Japan. And then there's more information back here. But if you were to look here, you have these four columns, and it says Memory 2026, Memories. Note down your experiences as they happen over the year. It'll be a fun way to look back and remember. And down here it says great food, new friends, fun times, and blank. You decide. And it's fitting for us stationery lovers. It could be something related to stationery purchases, or it might be, for me, I could use it somehow as like a personal curriculum section. Now this is very different. This is definitely not in the current planner, the current year planner. So 12 switches to help you focus. Now this is really nice. It says here are 12 methods you can easily try when you want to improve your concentration at work, study, or anything else. Oh, I should really listen to this. Oh, I say listen because I happen to be reading Listen to Spring by Vivaldi. I like that. And then finally, there is this section that I think is also in the 2025. Let's look here. Where is it? Oh. Oh, it looks new. I don't think they have it. They don't have it in the 2025. So then you have the 365 days checkoff sheet. I think for me, it might be something like days that I'm practicing yoga, days that I am lifting, strength training, or running. We'll see. But I do like this. It's a nice year-long habit tracker. And then you've got the address, one page for addresses on the right-hand side. You turn the page and then you have, perhaps this is your own, like if lost, this is my name, address, your own information, contact information. And then it ends with this last cardstock sort of page. And then you've got the back. That's really cute. I like how they utilize the pages in the back. Because at least for us, those who don't speak Japanese, this section doesn't really, it's not as helpful. So I'm imagining they must have added more blank pages to the 2026. They did, because in the 2025 planner there are 69 pages, but then in the 2026 planners they have 75 pages, which is a bonus, 6 extra pages, and every page counts. So 75 pages of blank space for you to jot down whatever notes you want. I think that is fantastic. Okay, I'm going to show you how I move into my next year planner. And what I need right now, and I forgot to bring it, is I need to go get my scissors. Okay, the first thing that I do when I get my Hobonichi Weeks is, or any Hobonichi planner for that matter, is I snip off the bookmarks because I don't use these. I don't use these at all. In fact, if I want to mark a page, then I will get myself a paper clip and I'll go get that. Okay, so these are, I happened to buy like a 500 pack of these rose gold paper clips a few years ago, and I have found that I really like to use them as a bookmark. So I just slip them just like so for the week, and it's just nice. It does crimp the page a little bit, but honestly for me, I don't mind that at all. In fact, I do like having pages that look just well used and loved, and to have a little bit of a crinkle is something that I don't mind at all. At least for this one, I didn't cover it. I didn't use any of the plastic covers. I just had it bare, and I have liked how it just ends up looking used and nicked, and it's still in great condition. I would carry this with me everywhere. I use it while I'm cooking, and so it's in great condition. Still very, very, still in great shape. But that's the first thing that I do. I will snip off the bookmark because I don't use it. And then this is the adhesive pockets that come with every Hobonichi Weeks. And I like to put it right here. Reason being, I like to use stickers. And I like to use stickers for my monthly pages. So I'll put them here. These are stickers that I got on Amazon recently, and honestly, when I first bought them, I didn't like it. I was actually kind of disappointed in them, but I was stuck with them, so I decided I'm going to use it, and I figured out a way to use it. So, which you'll find out as I do a quick flip through of my current year planner. So moving into this planner, I always put the little pocket adhesive here, and then I also proceed with creating my own pen loop. So I use gaffer's tape, and I don't have it here with me, but I do have this packaging tape here as a way just to demonstrate how I use it, or how I make my own pen loops. The final version, when I'm done, it looks like that, and it does look a little crude, and it's a little jarring considering the beautiful demure layout or pattern, and then all of a sudden you have this black loop. Especially this area, it looks a little garish. I just realized maybe I could even use this packaging tape. It looks better than the black. But honestly, for me, when I've been flipping through it, I never flip to the back, so it doesn't bother me that much. But moving into 2026, what I did do is I did make my pen loop, and then I covered it with just a wider masking tape. And I have thought about just wallpapering this entire section with this washi tape, so we'll see. But for now, I just like how it turned out. It looks better than this aesthetically. So, but anyway, just going back to how I make the pen loop, there is a video, and I can provide the link to it in the description box below. But essentially, you just kind of fold the ends into the middle, and so now you've created your strap, or you've created your loop. And then what I do is then I will wrap around my pen of choice, and for me, I love using my Uni Jetstreams. But in this case, I'll just rip it off. So then what I do is I crudely measure it like so, and then I take it out, and then I literally just put it right here, and then I tape it down. And thinking about it, just because this was a last minute demo that I wanted to make, it would work beautifully actually with this packaging tape. So actually when I adhere it, when I position it in the notebook, I have the pen still in there. And so this is what I do. Like so. But I do like to put this tape a little bit closer to the edge, but I'm just doing this quickly just so that you can see. But looking at it, it's actually quite cute. It kind of has like a camel leather look, like the nice tan color. Oh, it's actually quite nice. So anyway, that's how I do it, and hopefully it's not going to take off too much of the paper. It did a little bit. But then eventually what I'll do is I'll probably put this washi tape on top as well. Actually, I don't need to. This is my current year. And that's what I do. And then I think that's really it. The utensil, or like the pens that I really like to use in my weeks are I like to use my ballpoint pen. It's oil based. And because I like to use highlighters, I like to use a ballpoint pen. I love the writing experience of a Muji pen and also fountain pens, of course. But because I like to use highlighters, Muji pens, the ink, it totally smears. Also, so does fountain pen ink. So I don't use fountain pen ink when it comes to, or water-based inks when it comes to writing in my weeks. Because I like to use my ballpoint pen, and then I like to highlight certain texts and sections. Let me show you how. Okay, so if I look through the monthly section, what you see here are stars that indicate days that we cooked meals at home. I'm really proud of this because we're really trying to save money and just spend wisely, and each star marks every meal that we have cooked at home. I can actually migrate now that we are in December. I can start putting in the stars here. Okay, so December 1st, we ate. Awesome, great. Because as you can see here, the sticker set, it comes in like a gradation. There's like a row of green, and then it turns into blue and purple, and then it turns from purple to magenta. And I happen to start with purple and magenta. There's also like, then from purple to magenta red, then it goes from red, yellow, green, and then it just continues in that rainbow pattern. So that's been fun to put stickers in the monthly section, because historically I just haven't found a really helpful way to use the monthly section. But now for me, it's just nice and simple, and it's fun. It's fun to put a sticker on the days that you are eating at home and spending money, spending money on other things, but just saving money when it comes to cooking meals at home. I love using these Bic bright liners. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about these highlighters, but they're just my preferred highlighters. They're cheap, and I like using bright colors like that for highlighting. And then I think this is the layout that I think really works for me. And what I've done is I have so I have 3 columns here, and you can see it says this week. The middle column says dinner, and then the third column says what else. So the first week is all, or the first column is all afternoon and evening commitments that impact dinner prep and dinner plans. Then the dinner column in the middle is figuring out, it's figuring out what I have made. It's not really planning ahead, but it's actually just logging the meals that I cooked for that evening. But my meals that I plan on cooking for the week, I have it more as like a menu down here on the bottom right corner. And so then whatever I feel like making or eating, whatever I'm craving, I'll look at the menu here and I decide what I want to cook. And so this is more after the fact. Once I've decided that we're going to make a baked potato and we have baked potato, then I will write it after dinner or just after, maybe the next day. This section, the third column, is what else. And so what I found is I just have other peripheral or like other important dates that don't necessarily impact dinner prep, but it also helps me to see if I have an overloaded day, then of course I want to make something that's going to be easier. So that's what I have been doing on the third column. And then when I go to the right page here, I have it generally split into two sections. So the top half is my ingredient section, and my bottom half here is for meal ideas. Then in the notebook section back here, I just started writing recipes that I liked or recipes that I was planning on cooking for that week. So now that I am moving into my 2026 planner, there isn't anything that I'm going to be doing preemptively, honestly. I still don't know how I'm going to be using this yearly spread. But for the monthlies, I'll be tracking the days that we are cooking and eating in, but also I'll be tracking where we end up going when we eat out. And now that we are in the first week of December, I'm really excited just to show you my process as far as how I set it up. And it's very, very loose, and I don't really use a ruler or anything. So let's go and write ingredients. And I like to box my text just like that. And then I go to about like, what is it, like the bottom third, meal ideas. And for some reason, instead of black ink, I like to use the blue. And then I like to draw just freehand the boxes. Okay, so there's that. Then here I'll say this week, and then dinner in the middle column, and then what else? And then I like to box these as well. And I love how organic the look is. There is some uniformity, but then I also love to hand write everything and hand draw everything. Okay, there's column 1. Column 2 and column 3. So as you can see, I'm not very exact about it. Oh no, wow. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's kind of bothering me, but that's okay. I think it's because it's the first entry and it's not broken in yet. But anyway, so then I do that. And then of course, then I like to go with my highlighter and highlight in pink all the boxed text here. Ingredients. Another reason why I don't like to use fountain pens in here is then I would have to use like an ink blotter, and I'm always referring to my notebook. And so if I'm going to write and come back and rewrite something, I would smear the page a lot if I were using fountain pens. But the oil-based uni jet streams are just really nice. They don't smear at all. So for example, it is my partner's birthday tomorrow. We are going to dinner tomorrow night. So we won't be eating from home. We won't be cooking a dinner. Oh, this is a shout out to Home to Heather. Home to Heather mentioned that she writes FFY for nights that stand for Fend for Yourself. So those nights, we just tell the kids, our kids are high schoolers. We're like, okay, look in the fridge and find something to eat because our fridge is stocked. So fend for yourself. So whether it's like a frozen meal or heating up leftovers, they can figure out what to eat on Saturday. Because Saturday evening, we're doing like a bar crawl in Seattle for my husband's birthday. So let's write that. So this is really what I like to do. And I've really found this practice to be really, really helpful. And I love using all of these bright highlighters. And in the end, to see a page full of my chicken scratch and then having the really fun pastel neon, I guess pastel neon, but these really bright highlighters, it makes me really happy to see the color combination. Well, that's it. Take care. I will see you in my next video. Bye.